The Coop was sick. Remember that place?
Yeah, it was 24
Yeah,
hours.
and then Obama ruined it.
Obama did ruin
Literally,
it.
Obama ruined it.
Fucking piece of
She
shit.
showed up, and then they were like, well, we're not 24 hours anymore, and now the food sucks.
And it's more expensive.
It's more expensive.
One time, me and Jamel went and had a lot of deviled eggs there. Deviled eggs and wings.
They used to give you animal crackers.
Mm-hmm.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
Dude, they had great deviled eggs. They had great wings.
Yeah.
I had great wings yesterday.
Their breakfast bowl was amazing.
I don't remember.
I remember that breakfast bowl. Yeah.
That shit was amazing.
It had...
I loved going to Wonderland, getting trashed, and then going to Coop.
Falling asleep in your car.
Going to the Coop to eat that breakfast bowl.
It had...
Being like, this is what life's about.
I remember your 50-50. Like, there was a coin flip chance whether you slept in your car that era of your life.
You remember every single night just saying, Nick, sleep on my couch. I have an apartment. And you're like, I'm going to sleep in the car. And then you're like, yeah, I'm not going to drive. Don't worry, I'm not going to drive.
Yeah, that's true. It was 50-50. Is he in the car or not? And then within that 50%, is he going to try and drive drunk to Baltimore? Or is he going to sleep? Is he going to sleep?
I didn't. I mean, to be completely fair, most of the time I did not actually drive drunk. And then one time I did, and well, I mean, multiple times I did. But that was because it was gotten to a point, because I guess I drove drunk in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's drunk driving is such a weird thing, because I feel like it's a thing a lot of people that do, and you shouldn't do it.
Of course.
I got to stop doing it.
But then some people
you still do it?
I've been doing it.
Some people, yeah. Some people never do it, and they treat it like it's this fucking like this horrific thing that you could do to drive drunk. Like, they get really heated over the idea of somebody driving drunk.
I kind of get where they're coming from.
I get where they're coming from, but it's also too. It's like it's such a thing that, because it's negligence. It's not like I'm going to drive drunk and run over a child. You know, I mean, like nobody's planning that, and it's not like very few people sober make the decision to drive drunk. What happens is you get trashed, and then you're making all kinds of bad decisions.
Yeah.
Only one of them happens to be driving.
That's a really good
honestly, and this is going to
point.
sound pretty stupid, but it's very easy to drive drunk in New York City.
Yeah.
Because you never go over like 20 miles an hour. It's all surface streets.
A lot of stops.
Yeah, a lot of stops.
Mm-hmm. I always find it harder to drive high, because when you're high, you want to get in a nice rhythm.
In high school, everyone...
I drove
driving
out of my
when
fucking
I smoked
mind.
weed. When I smoked weed, I was a much worse driver. I would just blow through red lights constantly.
So much harder.
And I'd be like, dude, what is red? You know? It's just all perception, man.
Yeah, in high school, everyone was like, yeah, it's like a fucking video game, dude. It's like Mario Kart. It's so hard
It's
to
so
drive
much
high.
worse. I don't know that it's worse, but honestly, I've probably driven drunk, I don't know, 3 or 4 times my whole life.
I drove on mushrooms pretty recently, and
Respect.
I got a speeding camera ticket.
Most of that was in high school, by the way, driving drunk.
Oh, I've been bringing it back, dude. Mid-30s.
Yeah, well, I remember when I started comedy, I feel like because they were all adults, they all drove drunk.
Yeah,
It's kind of like
drove drunk constantly. And then, but yeah, no, I mean, I guess the analogy I was going to use is like, did you ever meet people as a teenager, and it would have to be in your early teens, like, because you discover beating off when you're like,
sure,
and in your mind, this is this secret world. You want to talk about boys' clubs, all the bullshit women say about like, well, boys are socialized to be funny in school, and that's why they get into comedy. And it's like, that's shut up. But
that's true.
Beating off,
little fat boys are. I'll put
beating
it that
off.
way. I had no choice.
Beating off, that is something that
we're socialized to do.
Well, I feel like that's something, because girls aren't like 12-year-old girls aren't like, because they need like dildos and the machines and like all
they
this
need
other
a fuck machine. They need to be choking themselves.
Yeah. Literally, a
They
12-year-old boy needs nothing more than like a placard for like a breast cancer self-exam.
Yeah, dude.
And then
that would be huge.
And then,
Let's go.
You're
You're
like Saul Starr showing up in Deadwood, ready to set up business with a couple of shovels. You're like, I'm out here to beat off in this new frontier of life.
Yep.
And
so you're saying little girls should talk to each other about flicking their pussies?
Yeah. I mean, whatever they want to do.
Wow,
I don't give a fuck.
posy now.
In fact, I don't want to give them anything. In fact, I want to keep more stuff for the guys.
For us, for the boys.
Yeah, they should all have to go into political science. This thing where people are like, oh, if women ran the country, it's like, let them. I would love it if I was staying home jacking off and you had to pay me to do it.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
flip the
so
script.
true.
On the company dime.
We're now we got OnlyFans, but it's not gay. It's guys getting together like they used to back
When
in
they
the
were
day.
children
And they're
jacking off in
beating
the same
off
room.
on cam.
But this time it's
But
on
it's
cam.
also Twitch. Twitch and OnlyFans merge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a
And
Halo.
you take turns to playing Halo and
You're
jacking
playing
off.
Halo and jacking off.
And you get paid $100,000 a month.
You get
for
paid $91,000 a month.
That's a reasonable amount.
And that's what you should get for being an artist or whatever.
it. Yep.
But anyways, I was saying, so did you ever meet anybody when you were like 12, 13? Because in your mind, everyone's, you're like, Jack, like go home from school, beat off the pornography. Did you ever meet anybody that's like beating off?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Religious kids.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, your mind is blown that they could
Like,
even
you
be.
don't beat off.
And that's how I feel about drunk driving, where it's like, I can understand if you don't do it, but then the people that are like, how dare you?
Right.
It's like, well, I don't,
It's as natural as masturbating at 13.
It is.
Drunk driving.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
it's like-
that's a good
I'd
analogy.
say so. Well, I guess just mostly the like, the like moral objection.
I think
from
more
people.
it's an outdated thing. It's like
Yeah.
it's kind of like
Beating
dropping.
off? Oh,
no.
Driving drunk.
Yeah. It's like how you let slurs.
Well, you
fly.
also say that as somebody that lives in New York City, where there's like really no reason to drive.
That's a
drunk.
great point. Yeah, I could Uber wherever the fuck I want. If I lived, even Baltimore isn't that bad. But
Yeah,
if you
and
live
even,
in the
even
fucking
now,
sticks.
even now with like Uber, it's like fucking like Austin, like 15 years ago,
That's true.
you couldn't fucking walk anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could. You could walk downtown, but if you're drinking in the cool spots like I did up in fucking Round Rock,
Right.
I go find the real cool bars.
Round Rock.
Texas Bar and Grill.
Well, named
Can you imagine having a place, called Texas Bar and Grill in Texas?
Yeah.
Tea
that's-
bags.
That sounds awesome.